I decided to step down. And as a matter of fact, I didn't do it. Himself and another brother said, you know what, why don't you come down and take a view at the beach? So I was like, okay, why not? Let's give it a try. You know, I'll never say no to something like that. So I came down, we came to the beach. You see me on the canoe now. I'm actually going to show you a video because a brother is going to send me a video about how the processing is done when they are taking fish from the sea. So I'm going to show you that video, but I'm just going to have a conversation with my big brother KOJO. You know when two KOJOs meet, it's going to be fireworks. So I'm going to ask him a couple of questions, just his experience on the sea, and we see what we can learn today. But you know, the underlying fact is the spiritual version of everything that goes on around us. So I want to ask a couple of spiritual questions and see what we can answer us. Into back with you.
Yes.
Into let's have that for how many years?
30 years.
Hey.
30 years.
30 years. Hey, there's a. This hand is 50. Wow, he's been fishing for the past 30 years. He's been going to the sea, deep seas with a canoe for the past 30 years, and he started around 15. Wow. Only 30 years, wow. Now what? And when you come more uses.
As me yakuri.
Oh yeah, listen, guys. Listen, he's a hard-working man. He's KOJO, and he's single. Sadly, his wife passed away a couple of months ago. He's single now. He has 3 kids. Listen, I'm not pimping him out. I'm just saying he's single and he's available. So if any of you want his number, just hook me up. I'll get his number for you. You guys can start conversation. But wow, he's been doing this for the past 30 years.
Enemies are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. They play upon our vanities and flatter us in every kind of way. They tell us that this particular person or that particular country has greater or more favorable potentialities than the other. They do not tell us that we should unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free.
Don't fucking move on. Shoot your fucking ass, bitch. Tase his ass.
Why are you so angry? I'm angry because it's been going on forever. Enough is enough.
We're waiting for a back. I will, sir. No worries. I will.
Fuck.
He just shot his arm off. We got pulled over on Larpener.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead. Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like that.
Keep your hands where they are, please.
Yes, I will, sir. I'll keep my hands where they are. Please don't tell me this, Lord. Please, Jesus, don't tell me that he's gone. Please don't tell me that he's gone. Please, officer, don't tell me that you just did this to him. You shot 4 bullets into him, sir. He was just getting his license and registration, sir.
Mid-20th century is Africa's. This decade is the decade of African independence. Forward then to independence. To independence now. Tomorrow, the United States of Africa.
30 years no. On an edition on by a day.
What's on you? No one lives in my flying.
Let's go.
I started now school, but in the past 2 years, a little baby, I sang a crowd.
What's that?
Gimnasa. That was the same. I watched it.
How about no one?
I living 209. Now, lights, I started today. 4 times a bike. Today, Upa, no million of Zaba, Zaba. I told you, baby, now, Upa, maybe in Pamba. Drama, now it's your. That time I make them now, because in now, but this is coming.
Wow, he says since 2009, so that's probably like 11 years ago. Things were good, like you could make a lot of money from fishing, and that's what everybody in the community was doing. But since the introduction of a light system, so what the light system is that they go to the deep sea and they drop a light bulb into the sea, and I think the light draws the fishes close, it draws the fish, and by that they are able to capture a lot of fishes. But since they introduced that, they got all the fishes out of the sea, didn't need the sea to rest, and hence the reason why now the industry is not like it used to be, because now when they go, they don't even get the fishes to come back with. They don't get the fishes to come back with, and that's sad. One of my them light system idea.
That time no before now I was coming now a question. That is so much. Actually, just now the part in back. I feel that is a good. I feel fine. The crack and the other. I think 10 years soon, today. I feel fine to be more crack.
I brought for one you. Maybe all the baby will be I shall say no bed, but a children, a children, so yeah, he said that it was the former president, J. Kufuor, that introduced the light system. Listen, I'm just hearing this from the beach. That introduced the lighting system, and when it came, they were getting a lot of fishes. But what happens is that with time, they took all the fishes out and they didn't give room for the fish to reproduce and have enough fish in the sea. So now it's horrible. Now it's bad. And to see how I end up into one plants in the way.
You see, I know, Binim Pase, who Jay, Lucy Pase, what the fuck? Why there after the play, NBC now, MPP. That was any speaker who should now so there was a day the Juma. It's why I could play. These are no. One said on commercial view within the commercial view.
Now, I've been a poor human over there politics.
I there, Sisiano, Yemi Muhammad, say, a Bambiba, maybe an NBC no order, no Yapina, no MPP, no say Chiba, no, as a sample for no, was a MPP, be a sport MPP, no, now Yapina.
So the politics inside the they wouldn't pass. So I was asking, what is the way forward? And he said, half wants to stop this lighting system because it's not really helping, but the other half still want to hold on to the lighting system because their political party were the ones that introduced the lighting system. So i.e. the NDCs and the MPPs. So the NDCs want to put a stop to it because they feel it's killing the fishes, but the NPP still want to do it because they feel their government is the one in power, and hence they are supposed to be the ones going out and taking the decisions for the whole community. This is sad because this is the livelihood of everybody on the beach. So why would you want to bring politics into something like this? This is sad, and that's how bad it has gotten. They take politics into the school systems, we are at the beach, and they're bringing politics into the beach system. This is really appalling. It's common sense that if you keep taking out, and you don't give room for them to grow back, then how on earth do you expect the fishes to come back? And this whole community depends on it. So. Other way to go.
You see, I know, okay, there, and you can almost in this film,
That way, NDC.
The NDC.
A Chirimbano, the next 10, 15 years to come over.
The person I will be there, Chimana, as the Thai, Bra at the Missing Order. That's why now could be a friend of Cindy. No, I bet at the Missing there. Then you know India, my friend, I've been to the big guy, the man, Tosso, Ama, is a riding similar. As it is easier, about the Babutuna, the more than Swana, Utuna, Ama, before now, tonight,
listen, guys, it's getting real. I didn't even know this. I didn't know I was going to come into this, and I'm not trying to be a mouthpiece for everybody or anybody. I'm just saying what it is. I'm just saying what I saw on the beach, and it's really appalling because I asked my brother KOJO that what's going to happen to the younger generation. I mean, the next 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 15-year-olds that wants to go into fishing, what are they going to do? And he's saying that he's just praying that a better government will come into power and will put their feet down so that the lighting systems will be cut out. When it gets cut out and you give it a couple of years, we're going to have fishes back into the sea. But if this is not taken care of, then the younger generation have no hope because they're going to struggle and they're going to suffer. So that is really sad. And you see, most of our leaders, when we do things, we don't really focus on the younger generations. But everybody just think about their stomach and their family and what they can take to their families and their stomach. And nobody's thinking about the young kids. It's about time this nation, we as a people, we start taking decisions, not what will benefit us, but what would benefit the younger generation. Because we're going to die. In a few years' time, I'm going to die. I'm going to move on. What is my son going to do? What's my grandchildren going to do? You know, what is his children going to do? And this is the main source of income in this community. So if they're not protected in this way, then how are they going to grow? It's really appalling. How you enjoy them politics in some way? Yanka producer. 30 years ago, I was in a you soon do it.
Say, it may say a good Sabanamana at the Amunka. I don't know if you say,
And whom none is.
None is a car. We from my own seat at the wash out. What is it?
I was in Sunana. No, your whom Janana is just
this is not the child. Upon a Miss Sarah, I said, Bra, Obano Ama, and Famana Abba.
Oh, yeah, only how many minutes?
You better 30 minutes, grandma.
Hey, wow.
If I'm not bar, it's about 1 hour.
Wow. So 1 hour in I know worship.
It's the urban mouth there. Look at the ball. You should be there.
Wow. So I'm asking him about any crazy times he's experienced or any troubling times he's experienced on the sea, and he's like one of the major adversities on the sea is the storms that come. Like you can be on the boat and you've seen the boat. It's not like a heavy itinerary, it's just a boat. So you can be in this boat and the storm will come at you. And these storms can last over 30 minutes to an hour. So the entire 30 minutes, they have to make sure they stay low on deck. And I don't know how low you can get on this canoe, but they got to stay in the storm for over 30 minutes to an hour to make sure the storm subsides before they can actually come out and continue doing their business. But it's a who know to the man. We will too shrink in back.
Oh, something about it. Say, you'll be today. I if you are when you win, I pursue until
I'm a dancer.
If you are, say, a man told me, Bona, a ship, between now a cash.
Oh, wow.
I have to shoot over.
It's how I started actually. How then? And that's a cheap out. So I was asking if there are casualties during the storm times, and he's saying that sometimes it gets very cloudy and very foggy that you'll not be able to see even the next canoe by you or the next boat or ship by you. So what happens is that sometimes a ship or a boat from nowhere can just come and crash into the other one and see people die and lose their lives. But so I asked him if he personally had lost anybody, and he said no, he's never lost anybody personally. But there are stories of neighboring fishermen that actually lose people.
I times to say, yeah, one of so. Also, do not
Okay, I put it over.
So, yes, a cheap looking at me.
How's it?
Hi, I'm from seafood from my guest house. So you see, as of right now, you see there are small but during I guess that we are not ready to guest house. So in that time, maybe when you are going to see, it's not happening that way, but you come and live back. It's up to you to learn. Whatever you are going to do, you are just sometimes you are going to lose the whole, sometimes you lose the hard work you're doing, you're going to lose the family, the men. There are so many instances like that. Keeps on coming every year, the family sector, so that may be the same. It doesn't want to happen. But when you have a war like a winner,
Building what?
Wow, we have something called wow. Like,
Okay.
We put it at where the storm comes.
Okay.
So that when the sea is like, there are sometimes when the sea gets up, when it gets up, like the stones will protect the house.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, it makes the landing very easier. When you go like from England, there are certain stones there. They protect the sea from the house. So that's what the government intended to do.
Wow. Well, I know, what I know is that him there, offended, moon,
Yeah.
I'm a listener person. Him there, every time there's full moon beyond, or then you soon or respond.
Like when during the August season, that's where they have their bumper harvest.
Yeah,
August, September bumper harvest.
Oh, okay.
August, September, October. So in that time, when the moon is full, you are going to attack a big sector. That's when by during this time, even when the moon is full, you are not going to have, it's going to be like normal. But on the August season, where they have their bumper, that's when they attack a sector.
So, I mean, you heard him. I'll make sure I amplify. No, he's not showing his face. He has to show his face. No, so I'll amplify his voice, but I think you pretty much heard what he said. And I'll just input in the fact that the full moon has an effect on the water. I mean, not just water in the sea, but water in our bodies as well. So every full moon, the water rises, the water levels rises. And he's saying that when the levels go up, it's also a very dangerous time. But that's also around the same period of the bumper harvest. So when the harvest is that high and you want to get them, then the moon is also up. So what do? You want to go for the fishes, but the waters are up. So that's when you face a lot of dangers. Now, you had to some baby about Mami water, Papa water, the moon, it won't be that.
You must start to the new couple. The man, the man, this is young. But one hour when you know, at the summer moon company, we compare a wish you.
I wish you.
I moved one hour when you can. Tumba, banana, was the new city. As the Nazi, you see.
And you will be away with that.
That's what
And you will be personally. So I was asking about, all these. The reason why most people are afraid of West Africans is that because they feel West Africans, we are into this whole messed up misleadings about Mami water rituals, the water gods and all of that. And he's saying he's been a fisherman for 30 years and he's never seen a Mami water or Papa water or any water on the sea. He just goes do his business and comes back. So, but he says those who are spiritually sort of gifted, who have eyes, they are able to see them when they come to the shores at night. But him per se, he's never seen anything like that on the sea. So it's either you're safe to say that they choose to reveal themselves to those they want to reveal themselves to, or those who have eyes can see them when they build themselves too, but it's not something that they are just out there showing themselves to everybody that comes on the sea. Okay. So, what was the end of the task and be there? And maybe I will put you in a woman sound.
The one now, much in general, and I said, you go here, you need that for years. But in years, you're fine there. You go to school to every dinner.
So, whatever, sir, why you, Mamma?
Yeah, by Yana Media. This is dear. I don't know you. Now, would you consume maybe I could also fill out our bomb power?
Let me check. You know, Africans love tradition.
Let it come up.
You know, Africans love tradition.
Okay.
And then sometimes tradition goes wrong. Normally, when they go to the Kenya land, that's where they bring their family from. You know,
turn the camera on channel. No,
that's where they bring their canoes. So in those times when they are going to cut the tree, they need to perform some ritual because we believe that said trees that there are some spirits who are inhabited the tree. So therefore they need to perform some ritual. Even in our coastal areas, every canoe, they believe that every canoe has its own spirit. Some have good spirits, some have bad spirits.
I heard it.
Yeah, therefore, when they bring the canoe, it is either some people they have malams, some people they have their pastors. So they need to perform some ritual before they go to the sea. But then I can tell you in fact, the big canoes, nowadays the fishing there has become competition here. And there's a lot of spiritual thing that goes inside.
Oh wow.
You know, it's not just going to the sea to bring fish nowadays. You have the small ones like these ones, you can go there, you get fish, you get some. But with the bigger ones, there are a lot of competition that goes on in the spiritual realm before it comes to the physical. Because every canoe wants to bring fish down. It's not more or less, people out there believe that anytime you go to the sea, you bring fish. It's never like that. Sometimes they need to spend 3 days, 4 days on the sea before they come with fish. So in that case, you need to have someone who spiritually backs you. Who is going to be either a pastor or either a malam. So when a canoe comes like that, they normally perform their rituals. Everyone has his own rituals to perform. Some people have their pastors, some people have their malam. So we cannot go and show you. When you go to the canoe, they have something, there are sort of things inside the canoe. But we cannot go and show you as a man. It is something secret. They don't want to show it out. So when you bring the canoe down, it is up to you to do whatever. It is, you know, everything based on your faith. If you believe that there's nothing inside and you believe that only go to vision, you're going to get some things, it's up to you. But if you believe that there's something spiritually attached to the canoe, you need to also perform that ritual. That's what goes on in here. That's like the spiritual aspect of the fishing.
Wow. Listen, guys, listen, are you single?
Yeah.
Listen, he's also single.
He's my uncle.
He's your uncle?
Sure.
Oh, so the uncle and the nephew, they are both single. I'll get a contact if any. I'm just messing around. No, but I'm serious at the same time. Listen, if you want to contact him. But I mean, you heard him and he made my job simple. Because I actually heard this yesterday and I was surprised because I never knew this. That every tree they cut down is backed by a spirit or has a spirit that inhabits that particular tree. So there are certain things that they do in the villages where they cut the trees. I have that video, I'll upload it. I don't know whether that video will come first or this one, so I'm just giving the information here. That there are certain trees that are backed with certain spirits. And I even heard this. I don't know if I should ask them, but I heard this. Listen, what I know is that in the villages, you cannot just cut a tree. Because most trees are spiritually filled. I mean, there's an interview I did. Okay, I haven't uploaded that. Most trees have spirit in them. So, but what I heard yesterday is that most times they love the feminine spirit more than the masculine spirit in the trees. The reason being that when they take the feminine spirit to sea, and the feminine spirit sees another feminine spirit on the sea, they don't go chasing after them. But when you take a masculine spirit to the sea and they go and see the beautiful sea spirit, then the canoe will just follow after the spirit in the canoe will just follow after the women, and probably the whole people will never come back. I don't know how true that is.
You know, the thing is that the feminine spirit, what it does that we know that one of the things or characteristics of the women is that they have sympathy. You know, every spirit has what he or she hates.
Yeah.
There are certain things you don't need to do. I know when I was young, I was told that there is a canoe you cannot go with palm oil. You cannot climb the canoe with a palm oil.
Wow.
There are some canoes we cannot climb with our sandals and shoes.
Wow.
We need to put it down. So with the feminine spirit, they are going to have sympathy when you break the rules or the laws they give to you. But with the masculine spirit, you know, men are very weak. They are going to deal with you. Thereby, it can be that you go to fishing and you are not going to get anything. Or even sometimes, there are a lot of things that goes on. You know, there are some people every year in the canoe, someone is going to die. They use him as a spiritualist.
Wow.
So, yeah, there are so many things. This fishing is not just a mere thing. It's not just
they use people for sacrifices.
Yeah, sacrifices happens a lot every year. Some people are going to die
every year.
Yeah. And the canoe, they are going to get a lot of fishes.
When a person dies, the canoe gets
it. Sure.
Wow.
And there are some people, they use goats, there are some people, they use chicken, a whole lot of things. It all depends on your malam or what the agreement you have with the spirit. But there are some people, they will just have the malam. You will call down the spirit and talk with the spirit. So the spirit will tell you what he likes or she likes and what he dislikes. So the masculine spirit, you know the masculine spirit to be very wicked. It's only about chasing women when they get to the sea. But rather, the masculine spirit will be very wicked to you when you break the laws he gives to you. Or the feminine spirit, you know women to be very merciful. So sometimes instead of being angry, they are going to be merciful to you. That's what goes on with that one. That's it. What we said, that's the actual thing.
Wow. So it's actually true.
It's actually true. It's true. It's actually true.
What else do you know that you can tell us? About because we are concerned about the spiritual versions.
The spiritual versions. Well, the spiritual versions, you know, there's fish.
Did you guys bring fish? Can we go and film when we are done?
Yeah, when we are done, you can go there. The canoes are coming. When we are done, you can go and make them sit on top of another. If they are going to allow us, I do that very respectful. You know, when you talk about the spiritual aspect of this thing, the fishes there, God created the fishes, and God gave us the power, the dominion to rule over the fishes according to the Bible, Genesis 1:26. That's what the Bible says. He gave us the dominion to do everything. But we human having the dominion, there are some people also who have third eye. There are some people they can call the fish. You know that when they go to, there are a lot of fishes in the sea, different types, different brand or whatever. So the spiritual aspect, there are some people they will buy the fish even before they go to the sea. We can buy the fish from their malams or their pastor before
wait, what?
Then you choose the fish that you like.
The fish you like.
Before they go to sea?
I tell you. So as it's going, you know the fish is going to go.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. You know, these things you see for competition's sake, because we have a lot of canoes here. We have this as Sunday, we have this as a beauty. There are so many canoes. Arsenal, we have Germany, we have so many canoes. So, and everyone wants to be proud. There's pride that goes on when you bring down fish. Are you getting it? Because of free, someone's husband can leave him.
Oh, wow.
Someone's wife can leave her. You know, I get it. Yeah, because when you don't bring down the fish, where are you going to get the money? So the fishermen, they brag with that. I get it. They brag. So you need to be very careful. Otherwise, what you know, are not going to get money. And there's a prestige attached to that. They are gone out the days. We're ranking. When you come, we're ranking the canoes. When as they are coming, those ones they don't bring any fish. They may be some of those fish. So when you come, you'll be teasing you. That you are not a man, you didn't bring any fish, you are not a man. And as we go, we lost so many people. One time of people cost almost $600.
Wow.
I get me. So there are a lot of things that goes on with this fish.
A lot of investment.
Yeah, a lot of investment, you know. there are a lot of things, there are a lot of investment that goes on. So every owner of the canoe doesn't want to incur costs because it's the aim of every business to have profit. So you need to do anything possible to get a lot of fish.
Listen, I'm telling you, you're getting a girlfriend. By the time you're done with this conversation, I'm telling you, go on, my brother.
So there are a lot of investment that goes on into this thing. Therefore, you need to be vigilant. It is easy. Let's take it to a normal world. Every businessman will protect his business. Now, the reason I said that, there are competition. Some people spiritually can just take away your fish, the one that belongs to you. You can go to sea a whole year and you will not get anything. Wow. It has happened before.
A whole year, you know.
A whole season. The fishes, they are in seasons. It starts from the August, we end from December. Every season there are fishes that comes. We have the January, we are going to get some fishes, the bigger ones. From March coming, then they will stop fishing. And they will prepare themselves to maybe June, July, then they start fishing again. Now, so if there are a whole lot of canoe farms to talk to you about the canoe farm, there are more than 150 here. Seeing a lot of canoe of 150. Many are there. Many are there, many to are to fishing. So all those 150 canoe can go to fishing for a day. Now, when you are coming, the next day or maybe 2 days when you are coming, you don't have any fish. How are you going to feel? You are going to feel ashamed. When you pay the cost, you are not going to get anything to eat, and someone also bring fish. How are you going to feel? So the thing is that you become very uncomfortable. Therefore, you need to do everything possible to get some spiritually. So they will try their best. Sometimes they will be changing pastors. They will be changing malams. If you are not good, you just yeah, it's true.
So the malams also lose their jobs.
They lose their jobs as a result. Some people
they go to Nigeria.
I know someone who brought malam from Nigeria to this town.
To this town?
I tell you.
From Nigeria?
It has happened a whole lot of times. So many times.
Wow. For fishes?
For fishes. He is going to this is like a battle of ages. It's like the clash of the titans. Because at the beginning, we were hustling from the canoe. Like every family has some, and every house we normally have some. So if our family have, they to their family have, they to their family have. So it becomes a competition within the families, and every family wants to be proud of. So whatever you are going to do to be proud of, you need to do. That's why where they are going to sacrifice, they don't care sacrificing human beings for that. So they can sacrifice human beings for fish.
So do the human beings volunteer themselves?
No, you yourself, you are not aware.
You don't even know? Wow. Listen, I'm laughing, but it's not funny.
You yourself, you not be aware. Because
you don't know
the owner of the canoe will go to his malam, like what we said, he bring the malam from Nigeria here. When he brings the malam will maybe tell you that this is the person who can use it. It might be the owner's son, it might be the owner's brother, it might be the anyone in the canoe, anyone in the family. Therefore, you can use for sacrifice. When you use for sacrifice, you need to be they are down with that. They will start getting so many people.
But why human beings? Why don't they use something else? Why human beings?
You know, Africans, everything depends. Someone use sheep. It all depends.
Okay, so the problem is not the malam that is demanded. It's the argument you go with the malam.
I want it about the spirit of the canoe or the boat. That will determine what you like. Someone think that will give me one person. The whole year, this is what I'm going to do. Like this Sakawa boy, where you are going to do that, you do this and I'll give you this. So that's what they should do. This is the amnesty. Otherwise, you're not getting it.
Listen, this is even serious than gold business. I'm telling you.
The good business, how did you a little bad? With this time, this one is not.
This serious.
Serious, this one is serious.
Guys, listen, I came around, I had no idea I was going to get this information, but this also mind blown. Wow. I don't mind anything that I've heard, except the human sacrifice.
The human sacrifice, yeah, it goes on. So sometimes if you the owner of the family, you yourself will be used as a sacrifice.
You be used as a sacrifice. So it's the deals that human beings are going. That is what is bringing this. All for fishes.
All for fishes. So those out there, they will think that when you go for fishing, you get big because the seas are a little bigger, so there are fishes everywhere. It's never. Sometimes there are some cases you go for fishing and you come there. That the person will be energetic going for fishing. You come and they say that they don't know what happened to him at the sea.
Is that?
Yeah. That one you should your common sense need to tell you that they are using for sacrifice. That particular can be used for sacrifice.
Wow. Listen, guys, this is deeper than what we. I don't know if any of you have ever heard these stories, or let me know if any of you have heard these stories in your countries, i.e., whether you're in South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, wherever you are. If you've heard of any of these stories, please let me know. This is my first time hearing stories like that. I thought it was just fishes, but listen, it's bigger than this, it's deeper than this. I actually was informed a bit. I was told a bit about it in my other interview, but this is insane. This is insane. Wow. So you cannot until entum kede erokopo Abraham people is it possible?
You'll be more the way you say. That's why I'm looking at the two, but I'm going to now, the opposite of the
Look at one.
These small ones, the one we are saying, they don't get like that big pieces. This one, they are doing maybe 2 people. And this one, they are not competition. But with the bigger ones, the one we are seeing, this one, a lot of, it takes almost 15, 18, 20 people to go for fishing. So when you are coming, you have nothing. These people, they came with nothing. You see, they use all their people.
They came with nothing.
They came with nothing. They had nothing. They went yesterday.
Is the camera getting them?
So they went yesterday around this time, and now they are coming. They had nothing.
They came with nothing.
They came with nothing. Absolutely nothing. How are you going to feel?
So do they get upset?
They get upset. They feel better.
So that is why they go into the spiritual.
Yeah, the spiritual. You know, sometimes it's not even the Christian season, but with how powerful God, spiritual man is, can get you.
So listen, if they can buy the fishes here even before they go, then it means fishes are spiritual too.
Not really.
No,
they've attacked the spirituality to the fishes.
No, I mean if we have spirit in
okay,
them,
you know,
then
there are
the
some
spirit
fishes.
will also have spirit in them.
Yeah, there are some fishes we have them free. You know, when we don't normally see whale passing or even a canoe, they cannot catch whales and then they can. My whole lifetime, 26 years in this coastal, I've seen whale once.
Once?
Yeah.
You came here?
He came here, he came there. That was the first time we saw whale again.
Was there?
It was there. You cannot see a live whale. Maybe they pass in, but you cannot see the whole.
How big was it?
Maybe it's bigger than this one. This canoe, maybe it's up to this canoe.
Wow.
Yeah, those are big. That's why normally. And they believe that the whale is the biggest fish in the sea, and they assume that, or it is our belief that whale is cold, the sea cold. Now, anytime we see whale, our tradition tells us that anytime we see whale passing, even when they go fishing, we see whale passing, you're going to see a lot of fishes following them because of the being gone. And on there, it doesn't go alone. It goes with a lot of fishes. So even the time that the whale died, that year we had a lot of fishes.
Really?
Because they believe that
the fishes follow the whale.
Follow the whale, and they are going to mourn for the whale.
Oh.
So instead of them to go deeper, they rather come near.
That's why I say so. They are spirits. The fishes have their own spirit. They are beings on their own. Because where are they getting the intelligence to follow the whale? Yeah, so who is giving them that instruction to follow the whale? Yeah, but you've seen evidence of it, so it will become true.
Yeah. So normally, anytime we see them, and there are certain times they are going to be maybe like fishing and you see the boat passing. Or sometimes you be fishing and you can see that you are getting closer to the whale. The whale they don't harm. Normally we believe that they don't harm. But until maybe they are being sent spiritually by maybe against someone to destroy you. But when you see you, it's not going to do
So people can actually use whales to attack
anything they can use to attack. Anyone who wants to do it can use anything.
Has anybody ever seen a shark around?
A shark are common. Sharks are common. Sharks are common.
They are common.
They are common. Sharks are common. Actually, sharks are very common.
They come close
They come
to the
close
shore.
and the canoes can get it. But with the whale, never. It will never happen.
So you guys bring sharks home.
Yeah, sometimes they bring sharks home.
They don't attack you.
They don't attack.
Sharks don't attack you.
They don't attack.
Sharks?
Yeah. They don't attack. Oh, seriously?
Really?
Yeah. Sharks, we can use the net. But what they are going to do is they have sharp teeth. They can destroy your net. If your net is not stronger, destroy it, get like that. But when you have a stronger net, you can get.
There's not an single incident that a shark attacked some of the people.
If never since I was born, I've never heard certain thing like shark
30 years
attack.
after the shark be attack with you.
What could be?
How could be?
Even when you are in the
water.
in the water, when he hears you like swimming and that stuff, the shark will run away from you.
The shark would rather run away.
Yeah.
It's a beer na power man.
I
Get to
know
the
that.
na power man. No ya me fin match week. Le beer cup. Na the limp no so le at the young one.
Listen, Hollywood is lying to us, guys. Sharks are not what they make it look like, you know. Then because what our elder KOJO is saying is that unless you've been accursed to that particular shark, then that shark can come and devour you or attack you. But normally, the shark literally even run away when they smell you or see you swim. Wow. It will come in some more.
Yeah, shark will run.
Fish
Neither
are
way.
full of spiritual.
Neither way attack.
Full of spiritual.
Fishes. It's all about spiritual. Listen, fishing is not with a naked eye. That's what I'm getting this morning. It's a spiritual thing. And if you are not in the spirit, forget it. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Wow.